Hey guys, today we're going to install RiskOS on a Raspberry Pi 4. We're going to start out by installing RiskOS on the SD card, and then we're going to boot up our Raspberry Pi 4 with it. So we've already inserted the SD card, and or I might be showing that clip in a second. I haven't decided how I'm going to throw this video together yet, but anyways, I've already recorded that clip anyways. Let's see here. We have the downloads. We're going to use the imager. So this thing makes it ridiculously easy, and this will work almost exactly the same whether you're running Windows, Linux, or Mac OS. And they have a version for all three operating systems. So in my case, you see I already downloaded it here, but let's see here. We can click on Ubuntu because I'm running Ubuntu, and they don't give you other distros, so you'd have to get this installed on your own distro your own way. But anyway, yeah, so show in folder. I'm gonna cut that out because, yeah, anyway, whatever. It gives you a .deb file that you can click on and install. It'll prompt you and you type in your password, and then it installs it for you. So you could probably pull that down from the repo too. I don't know. I would install the official one from their site. Some people prefer the repo and say it's the right way to do things. I prefer downloading the latest and greatest official version because this is a pretty much trusted domain, so it's safe to download their software. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, install this from here. And now I would install it, but I've already installed it and I'm not removing it. So I mean, it's pretty easy to do. You just click on it and type in your password, or you can do it from the command line if you like. Anyways, I'm going to click on Imager right here, and this is the Imager tool that they gave you. Anyways, so this is ridiculously easy to use normally to install, like Raspbian, which now they call Raspberry Pi OS. So you click here to choose your OS, which we don't have RiskOS here right now. It gives you a bunch of options: Raspberry Pi OS, LibreELEC, Ubuntu, and RetroPie, and this other client thing that I had never seen before. It gives you some utilities. You can erase your SD card, or you can use a custom image, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to use a custom image. So this is a pretty easy tool. You select your OS. Select your SD card. Just make sure you're using the right SD card, not your USB drive with all your documents on it, and not your hard drive, right? So make sure it's the right SD card, not like you don't want to format an SD card that has all your precious photos on it or something. So in my case, the SD card is this one right here, this 16 gig card. It doesn't tell me the device, which is kind of unfortunate. But if you jump over to this other desktop over here, I have the disks tool running, and I mean, you could do this from the command line tool. It doesn't matter. Anyways, we see it's dev SDE, and so the only other disks in the system are I have the 64 gig SSD, a 1 terabyte M2 drive, and a 32 gig USB drive. And this is just it's the little hub that I plug in my SD card into, so that's not an actual drive. And then this thing is the drive itself. This is an 16 gig SD card that I'm going to install my OS on. So that's just to verify that. Just if you only have one thing plugged in, then don't worry quite so much. So long as, like, if your hard drive is a terabyte and the disk comes up as a 16 gig drive, then you know this is the right one. But if you have a bunch of things plugged in, you want to be careful. So that said, you just select that card and then say write, and it writes it. That's how easy it is. So you don't even have to download these. You just click on it and it does it for you, which is pretty nice. And you have some different versions. That's kind of nice. Yeah, so unfortunately they don't have RiskOS in there. I had thought they did, but I went to do this installation today and noticed that they don't have RiskOS. So I'm going to download this. How about that? That is I mean, I guess I have to expect it to not. It can't be too small, and I probably should have downloaded this ahead of time. So there's a good chance I'm cutting this part of the video out. All right, so it looks like it finished downloading. So I have placed it right over here, and open that thing up. That took way too long, but I guess it's not a small file. But all right, so there we go, RiskOS PNG on our desktop. So all right, so basically, for when we choose OS, we go to Use Custom, Desktop, open it up. There we go. We've got our image right here. Choose SD card, select our SD card, and say write. And I guess it wants me. All right, yeah, I guess this type of low-level write requires permissions, which kind of makes sense. It's not accessing a directory with, that's permissioned to me or anything. It's writing directly to the device. So it would make sense that you do need permissions for that. And I gotta wonder if this thing is actually stuck. So for whatever reason, I have FFmpeg running in the background. That is interesting. I can't imagine why. I mean, yeah, unless this somehow uses FFmpeg, that wouldn't surprise me if this used FFmpeg. And there we go. Now it's verifying it. All right, we can now remove it. So that's it for this part, and we're gonna try to boot up our Raspberry Pi with this thing. All right, so we've got the SD card written, so we have RiskOS on this. Here's our SD card. Let's pull it out of this SD card reader. Throw this aside, and this is the first time I've ever powered this thing on. This is going to be the first OS I try out on this device. So I'm going to slide this in the back here. Going to, let's see if I have this right. I think I have to turn this around this way. And I don't know if this lighting is ideal. I tried to get it to be okay with. Yeah, I cannot grip that. All right, so I've got that in. Let's try powering this thing on and see how it goes. All right, so we've got a little light there. Looks like it's trying to boot up. Not sure how secure these. Oh, looks like the monitor is lighting up. a little bit. Oh, there we go. Let's not miss this. All right, so I'm holding my tripod now, but there we go, RiskOS on Raspberry Pi. Looks like it's trying to get on the network. So let me see if I can position my, yeah, this is gonna be tricky for positioning. Yeah, there's no easy way to do this unless I just extend my tripod out. So, yeah, bear with me here. All right, so there it is. I apologize for not having actual, being able to actually capture the screen directly, but wouldn't even know where to start for software for this. I've never used, this is my first time ever using RiskOS, but it looks pretty neat. Kind of reminds me of the old days using Linux, just because, when I was starting with Linux way back like almost 20 years ago, it was all new and different. So let's see what we have. So right now I have so I have it in HDMI. It's connected with HDMI to the monitor, and you'll see it really doesn't come out great with this camera. You see those waves going across the screen. I don't actually see that with my eyes right now. That's only on the camera. And so I connected my keyboard and mouse to it, but so far no good. They're not being picked up, but still this is kind of exciting. This is something. So I plug them into these USB ports. I mean, maybe if I don't know why this wouldn't be recognized, but yeah, it's a start. It's something anyway. Let me try at least just getting the mouse to work. So I don't know if this is a problem with my Pi or a problem with RiskOS. But so far, let me try this again. And no luck. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to try rebooting it. I'm going to try just powering it off. Powering it back on again, and let's see how that goes. So it's booting up, and yeah, no mouse control. I can't even imagine. So no keyboard present, because I unplugged the keyboard. That's fine, I guess. You know what? I'm gonna plug the keyboard, and yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna plug the keyboard in, and yeah, definitely no mouse. It's supposed to have a mouse because there's a cursor right there. My mouse is actually, it's lit up. It's got power. It's plugged into the device. I can't even imagine why that wouldn't. The keyboard is not lighting up, so it's like something's not right with that. Okay, so and nothing, trying all the USB ports. I'm gonna try just rebooting this again, but I guess this is a failure. This is a fail video or whatever. Yeah, the mouse is not gonna work. Well, so much for that. I may post this video as is and do an update video when I get it working, or I may finish this up and tack it on the end of this video.